ladies and gentlemen, Rapid Chess here, and today we'll look at the game between Ian Nepomniachtchi and Magnus Carlsen. This is game 9 of the World Championship match. Okay, so many players predicted this c4 which Ian played. As previously he played all e4s and he didn't have any sensible advantage. Yeah? It was like some kind of disappearing engine advantage, which is extremely hard to follow, yeah, with just one move. And in addition, this saying that it's some kind of realistically you can win when a lot of trades going on, yeah. So that's why Ian went for this c4, and he tried some c4s against Magnus in previous games. Also, Anand said that basically with the c4 he could have tried in game 5, for instance, yeah, so that Magnus has more preparation to do. So it's a bit plan B type of move, yeah. So when the player Magnus won previous game and now he plays for c4, then he kind of gives up, yeah, playing e4. It's not the really what you want to show, yeah, that you basically haven't achieved anything with white, yeah. So after loss you have to play for a win and you play c4. Yeah, and otherwise he would be like doing business as usual. It's very important, the small things. Magnus played d6, g3. So a lot of players, when they meet this, see the c6, which I often play, they play d4, yeah, and it's immediately transposition. But of course, not for Ian. d5. And d4. This is a bit more interesting because it's actually an ambitious move which I like to play as well. Yeah, knight f6 is possible, you can take here, and but d4 is kind of close to the center. Knight f3, knight c6. Also you can play c5 here, because white will have to play e3 and capture, and you want to recapture with the pawn, like controlling the center. But knight c3, and Anand also said that basically how they analyze this kind of positions, because you can choose and every move here is good for black. Yeah, I'm saying like knight c6, c5, bishop c5, that he just analyzes it himself whether he likes the position or not. Yeah, it's just not it's some kind of philosophy, probably just intuition, not sheer engine preparation in this kind of closed positions. Bishop c5 and d3. So actually bishop c5 is, I guess, against e3, then black takes, and it's not really what you want to play, to, I think, to capture with the bishop. Let's make the random move, knight f6, takes. Yeah, I think it's not the best position for white here. Yeah, this is these pawns are all weak, and so this is the idea of this bishop c5, to control the e3. Alright, so he played knight to d2 here, and he wants to play knight to b3 and ask this bishop a question where he's going. Knight b3 and bishop e7. So if he plays here, then this bishop is kind of semi-trapped, yeah, behind this pawn, and you have to play bishop d7, and you can't play b6 because the bishop will be trapped. So it's a small problem. So knight b3, bishop e7, and now he played e3. Takes. and knight to g4. So this is the engine move, and Magnus already was playing. He was out of his prep, but commentators praised him for this move because it kind of forces this bishop to go somewhere where he wouldn't like to go. The position of the king is safe. Yeah, you cannot really attack the king right now, so black has some time to make this kind of move, because if you go with that to d2, then you lose this d3 pawn. If you go to c1, yeah, then it's a4, yeah, and you again lose this pawn on d3 because you have to play this. So bishop c5 is the only move. Castles, d4, and a4. This is actually very Magnus style to play it with this side pawns. He plays a lot of a4, a3s, and he attacks with h5, especially with black pieces. I think he likes them, these pawns on the you know, if you play a3, there is a lot of tactics. Yeah, if you play b3, for instance, yeah. But so now he has to take, and knight to c5, and Magnus played a3. In this position, Nepo quickly took. So he had this idea to play really quickly, not to lose time. And Magnus was kind of in the he leads majorly with 2 points, and Ian is like a quick player. He never has any time troubles normally, and Magnus is not that quick last couple of years, so he just decided to play a quick game. But yeah, this time I think Nepo was looking really you know, it's kind of hard for him to just stay on stage right now. And he was like smiling, but it was like a grim smile. I don't know. So he took here, and actually I was the commentators I was following, they said that this move is okay. But now Ben Fangel said that maybe it's not the best, because when you take here, and I also, my sense was that something is not right, yeah, because you can. I want to build up this position, and I don't know, b3 was the move, probably one of what I would play. Yeah, I don't like maybe this pawn here, but knight will go to b4. But for me, this is safer, and I can build up in the center and maybe against the king. But just opening up, the position was not the best. And there was this engine line with b4, because if you take here and I win your knight, so you cannot capture the you can capture this pawn, yeah, and if you go knight c6, then I can take back this pawn, and white is normally is better. Okay, so Ian didn't play like that, and also I have a story. Yeah, I once, when I was a kid, I played this position, and I played b4, and the guy just took en passant, and I lost that game, and then I said that maybe it wasn't right. So, and he said, yeah, but I think it still didn't matter the result, or maybe we drew. I don't remember. Yeah, but definitely Magnus knew this, and Ian knew, so they played this. Rook d8. So you want to develop your piece and attack this pawn and align your rook against the queen. Yeah, so it's a very natural. Also, people were saying that this bishop is bad. I don't know, because b6 is probably not what you want to play, but I think this was pretty good with what Magnus played, and I've seen this bishop e8 maneuvers in Kramnik games a lot, yeah, so just he stays there and then he moves up. You cannot really say that it's like a terrible bishop. It has you just need time to develop it. Normally a bad bishop is like in Sicily and Najdorf, some kind of dark square bishop, yeah, which is blocked. But this bishop is not that blocked. And b3, rook e1, and he takes with the queen when rook is aligned with the queen, so you take on a3. So here, also in this position, I guess some players propose this queen e2, so you put your rook on the d file, yeah, and on e file it really doesn't do a lot, so it's I think also a mistake by Ian. h6. The problem is that this rook cannot move because now it has to just protect the a2, and you cannot play a4 because queen is here like defending. Bishop d7, knight e5. Unfortunately, I was like chatting with people, and I said that it's not the move I would play, because but unfortunately there is nothing better than this move, because when you have the center, you don't want to exchange pieces, and this move kind of opens up the game, and there will be a lot of exchanges coming, and but this advantage just disappears. But he played this, played queen e3, queen b4, like threatening this pawn, and at this point black had to white had to play for a draw, I think, because they have nothing, yeah, and black's counterplay is just much more solid, much more clear. Yeah, this pawn is weak, this pawn is weak, these center pawns are weak, and you cannot capture here because this exchange will these pawns are just very good in these Catalan systems. Yeah, this double pawns, they take the center, and you can't really attack them because they're very easily defensible, and these pawns are all weak. So just engine-wise, black is getting a little bit better. So he played this move, which was the engine move actually. They exchanged, knight to g4, queen e1. Unfortunately, queen has nowhere to go because it has to protect this pawn as well. h5, giving the knight room to return and maybe to go to f5 later. So Ian took on b7 and rook a4, and this is where it happened. Unfortunately for Ian, he said in the press conference that this position was so that draw that he even didn't calculate anything. I don't know what it means, but really an unclear move. It's like Spassky against Fischer, when Fischer took this pawn on h2, which nobody would take. I don't know what it was, but this is yeah, it's just like kind of Ian won the pawn, and his pawn is attacked, so he just doesn't ask himself why I won this, why he hung up this pawn. Yeah, so he played this, and Magnus was really surprised, and he was like acting what's going on, and I think he was a bit disappointed for Ian that he didn't show his best. Unfortunately, it's understandable in game 6 that he was doing a good job, but he lost, yeah. And the next game, like game 8, yeah, so when he lost, it was already very suspicious play, and this is just awkward, yeah. And Ian disappeared in the, he was like in restroom for 25 minutes probably. He had been really hard time for him. He didn't want to go back, and maybe he didn't know where he can resign straight away or he has to play on, but he understood quickly, yeah, that this bishop is not going anywhere, yeah, and rook attacks it. Anand also showed this variation, yeah, that so f3, knight h6, here rook a7. So this is what everything what happened, and he played a4. If you take on c6, kind of Muzychuk was saying that this could be an exchange sacrifice, yeah, but this is just down the full rook, yeah. The rook is pinned, so he played a4, but it just doesn't matter already. c5, and he could win back this piece here, but after bishop c6 it's absolutely lost, yeah, as knight f5, and these all pawns are just lost. Okay, so congratulations to Magnus with winning, retaining his title, and hopefully Ian will survives this match. Alright, thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.